All right, so welcome back. We're going to talk about putting today and a few of the things that I find most important with my putting and probably the most important for your game. Very obviously, there's two big things that go into putting, independent of how we actually hold the putter and the stroke, but that's calculating our line and speed. Probably the utmost important thing the most important thing that we could do with our putting or when we're practicing is really dialing in our speed. Because it's not until then that we can start to figure out a line. What I mean by that is our line is entirely dependent on how fast we tend to hit the putts. For example, if I'm a firm, hitter, or if I like putts rolling at a significant amount of pace, the amount of break that I'm going to play is going to be completely different than somebody who prefers to die it in the hole. There's no right or wrong necessarily in how fast you hit your putts, assuming that they're staying within a reasonable distance of the hole, both short and long. It's just, you have to dial in exactly what your speed is and how far you prefer to hit it past the hole, or whether or not you prefer to die it in the hole. For me, I tend to always have it go about 2 to 3 feet past the hole. It's just I've gotten very, very comfortable with 2 to 3 footers, and I know that if I can get it 2 to 3 feet past the hole every time, I know about how much break to play. So we're here on the red green here at the links. In the back right part of the green, if you're looking from the center of the fairway. This putt is downhill and has a significant amount of break left to right. So I'm going to use this putt to kind of show you exactly how important speed is for putts like this. Now, this is a downhiller, so speed is already of extreme importance there because we could get the ball running away pretty quickly. But I'm going to start with a putt that I'm going to hit firm to start. And on this putt, if I'm hitting it firm, I probably only need to play about maybe like a foot of break outside the right hand corner. And firm for me, again, is going to be about 3 feet past the hole. So we'll see how I do here. Having a pretty good pace. Probably rolling a little bit more than 3 feet past the hole, but still broke quite a bit. Now, this putt I would prefer to hit maybe a little bit softer, try to have a dying speed into the hole. So what I do to calculate that is I'm actually not going to look at the hole when I take my practice strokes and look that way to figure out my speed. And when I'm doing that on putts like this that are very slippery or a little downhill, I'm actually going to look at a spot that I want to be aggressive to, about 2 feet short of the hole in this instance. So we've taken a look at the spot. Now, because I'm going to have a little bit more dying speed, I'm going to play it about 2 feet outside the right edge of the hole, and we'll see how much this one breaks. Much slower putt. You see it's going to take a ton of that break towards the end, and that's the putt that I definitely can make coming back. Now, downhill putts tend to break a little bit more, and uphill putts tend to break a little bit less, and that just has to do with the speed off the face. So another thing that we think about when we read these long putts is try not to pay so much attention to even the first third of the break. Because that first third of the putt, the ball's going to be coming in with such great speed anyway, it's not going to take as much of the break. Really, really focus on when that ball's running out. We're going to work on those short putts next and hopefully help you make a little bit more of those 4 or 5 footers, which will make you a confident putter from this distance if you know that you can make the 5 footer every time. All right, so now we're going to work on these little 4 to 5 footers. Like I said before, if you get very, very confident from these 4 or 5 foot range, inside of 5 feet, it'll allow you to be much more aggressive and actually be a little bit more successful from distance, because you don't have to worry about, the length of the putt coming back or hitting it too hard or too soft. You just don't have to be as exact from a longer range, which should in turn help you lower your scores and actually be a little bit more confident and successful from that longer range. But I was always very, very bad at these putts. I was never confident. My knees would shake. It was really just not a great situation to be in, and not a very comfortable situation to be in ever. And I know, I'm probably not alone in feeling that way. But I did a few things and worked really, really hard on these putts to gain confidence. So I want to share a few of those things that I do now with you. One of the things is I stopped focusing on speed. On putts like this and on greens like ours, we don't really have to worry about how hard we're hitting it. The ball's going to get to the hole. The last thing we should be worrying about is how hard we need to hit this or anything like that. So really fall in love with your line here. The other thing is, in most all circumstances, you're going to be playing this ball inside the cup. What I mean by that is that if this putt, say this putt's breaking from left to right, hardly ever am I going to play this outside of the hole on the left-hand side. It just doesn't have enough time to take the break. And in certain events where maybe I could do that if I had dying speed, I might just hit it a little bit further or hit it a little bit harder to play it inside the cup. So again, don't really worry too much about being as exact with your speed here. Really focus in on your line and making sure that you're getting the putt started on your line. The other thing is, we have to make sure that we're taking our hands out of this putt as much as possible. I used to grip very hard on this because I was so nervous, or my knees would shake and I wanted a really firm grip on the putter. But that would force me to get my hands involved, and I would start hitting putts kind of side to side and pushing and pulling, and I could never really get a gauge of exactly how it was hitting the putts. So like I said, this putt's going to break a little bit to the left, so I'm going to play it inside the right edge. When I get over it, I usually take one practice swing. Again, I'm not really focusing too much on speed here. I'm just focusing on making sure the putter feels nice and light in my hands. I use the line on the ball, and I always take the pin out. But that, again, is personal preference. We're going to play this inside right edge, but I am very light on my grip. I'm hardly holding it here at all. I'm going to try to keep my head down through the entire putt, and it should just be as easy as taking the putter back and taking it through on that line. Again, I'm not focused on speed. I'm just focused on getting that ball started. And again, if you can do this with some success, it's amazing how much confidence you have with the longer putts, knowing that you're not going to miss the ones coming back. Phil Mickelson, again, I'll pick on him again just because he's one of my favorite players, being left-handed. He used to say that he would make 55 footers in a row every single day, and that really made him a much better putter. It's a drill that I recommend to a lot of the younger golfers here at the club, and if you have the time, certainly do it. 55 footers. Maybe you don't have to make all of them, but see how many you can make and track your progress. Again, this is the most important thing to do to really lower your scores immediately on the golf course. It's made me a confident putter, and I never thought I would say that. So try it out. Let me know what you think. We'll see you right back here next week.